Hello, and welcome to the Lacy Wave Stitch Square, the 14th square in this blanket. For materials, you will need the basic size 4 yarn, a 5mm crochet hook, and a pair of scissors. To start, we will loosely chain 27. Now we will begin row 1. Double crochet into the 8th chain from hook and then into the next chain. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and then single crochet into the next 5 chains. Now chain 2, skip 2 chains, and double crochet into the next 2 chains. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, then single crochet into the last 5 chains. Row 1 is finished. For row 2, we will start by chaining 5 and turn. Now, place a double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and then place a double crochet into the next stitch. Repeat this. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, then place a double crochet into the stitch after the skip stitch. Chain 1 and place a double crochet into the next chain 2 space. Place 5 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. As you can see, we skipped over the 2 double crochets from the previous row. After the 5 double crochets, chain 2, and then place a double crochet into the next single crochet. Now chain 1, skip the next stitch, then place a double crochet into the stitch after the skip stitch. Then again chain 1, skip the next stitch, place a double crochet after the skip stitch. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 2 space. Place 5 double crochets into the last space. Again, skipping over the 2 double crochets from the previous row. As you can see, after I finish my 5 double crochets, I do like to adjust to make the edge a little bit straighter. For row 3, we will again chain 5 and turn. Place a double crochet into the same spot. We will again chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and then place a double crochet after the skip stitch. And again chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then place a double crochet. Chain 1, place a double crochet into the next chain 1 space. Here is where I made a mistake, but it doesn't really matter because I will show you how to do it correctly in a few minutes. So skip the next 2 chain 1 spaces, and then place 5 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. After your 5 double crochets, chain 2. After the chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet. So the very next stitch. After this, chain 1, skip a stitch, then place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, then place a double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next chain 1 space. for this section of the row, I actually did do it properly, and I skipped the next 2 chain 1 spaces, and then I placed 5 double crochets into the very last space. Again, remember to adjust the sides to make this square a little bit more square shaped. Repeat the 3rd row until the square measures approximately 7 inches. I will repeat row 3 for you again, this time properly skipping the chain 1 spaces. So I chain 5 and turn, then place a double crochet into the same position or same space. Then I will chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and then double crochet after the skipped one. I will do this twice. After this, I will chain 1 again and place a double crochet into the chain 1 space. And here is where I will properly skip 2 chain 1 spaces and place 5 double crochets into the chain 2 space. This is how row 3 is supposed to be worked. After the 5 double crochets, I will chain 2 and place a double crochet into the next double crochet. Then I repeat the pattern of chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet. After this, I will chain 1 again and place a double crochet into the chain 1 space. Then I will skip the next 2 chain 1 spaces and place 5 double crochets into the last space. I will continue repeating this row until my square measures approximately 7 inches. This square is difficult to measure because of the wave of the actual pattern, so I will measure along one of the straight sides. I simply just take my ruler and see if that side measures 7 inches or is as close to 7 inches as I can make it. Once I have determined that it is close enough to 7 inches, I will go ahead and start the edge. To start this edge, you will do just like all the other squares. You will chain 1 and turn your work. After the turn, place 3 single crochets into the corner. After the 3 single crochets, you will evenly space 25 single crochets along the side. Repeat this around the square. Each corner receives 3 single crochets and each side receives 25 evenly spaced single crochets. On the chain 5 corners, I tend to choose the center chain and use that as my corner. So I will place 3 single crochets into the center chain of those chain 5 loops. This only counts for the corners, so you won't have too many of these to deal with. Once I do that, I continue down the side with 25 evenly spaced single crochets. When you've finished, you will need to join, so join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain 1. After this, make one more chain, pull up a large loop, and fasten off. This square is finished, and the front side of this square is when the beginning chain tail is on the bottom right corner.